Okay, so we go to Warriors Chaos turn 3. And if you remember, I said that he didn't have anybody nearby right now. Well, I was wrong. His Chaos Knights apparently were plenty close. So, um, Warriors of Chaos turn 3 is getting off to a very scary start. We, I did a lot of damage to the Frenzied Corn unit, Frenzied Chaos Warrior unit. But now he's got it in the flank with a bunch of these guys. Now, they're not frenzied at least, and I think they have shields, so they only have 2 attacks each instead of what I was facing at 4 attacks each. Nevertheless, there's a lot of combat res he's bringing to bear, and that is really scary. So after combat, it was fairly predictable. Now, on my turn, when I had charged everybody in, I forgot to move my battle standard bearer, so I didn't have any rerolls nearby, and it may not have mattered. They broke me in combat. The Knights Errant and the Pegasus Knights get away. The Questing Knights are nowhere to be seen. And all in all, I'm okay with that. I'd almost rather those guys get broken in combat and flee and just get out of harm's way, because on my turn I'll be able to do some countercharging. And with where his warriors ended up, he's kind of blocking his own Chaos Knights. Now over here was disappointing. I don't know how this happened. He won combat, and my Grail Relique failed its stubborn test and ran away, and he caught me. But he should have been in the woods. And my guess is I must have rolled, and I just don't remember. I played 3 games yesterday. My guess is I must have rolled a 2, and he must have rolled a 3, or something weird like that. But anyway, Grail Relique is gone, and yeah, these guys are just hanging out. So Grail Relique really didn't do the job that I hoped it would. But there's how things look at the end of the Warriors turn 3, and we go to Brett's turn 3. So I really like how I was able on my turn 2 to get 3 charges on a middle unit, which I ended up killing. Obviously they're gone. And then on my next turn, I'm able to get combo charges again on a single unit. So I'm happy with how that worked out, and this time I was smart enough to actually move my battle standard bearer near the action. And what's ironic is I gave the BSB the crown that makes him stubborn, and I keep forgetting to put him in units. I just need to learn how to play the game one of these days. So I have the Grail Knights in there to give me a bunch of attacks. I have the peasants because he's only going to get 2, maybe 4 attacks on him, and they still give me some good combat res. And I was really happy that my Knights of the Realm that started on the far side of the table were able to make it all the way in to give me a +2 bonus in the rear, and all those attacks. So my guys over here rally. We found out the woods make you stupid, so that may or may not affect something. This is his battle standard bearer. If he's within 6 inches of his unit, it's going to make them stubborn. If he's not, they'll at least get the reroll. So these are my archers on the hill. They see that battle standard bearer in the woods, and so they let loose at him, and he can't really see that die. But basically, he has 1 wound on him now, which is kind of a big deal. I think he only has 2 wounds. It could be 3, but I think it's only 2. So that makes him a little bit less scary. Should I be able to get him in combat later? So yeah. So on this turn, I reformed that unit, and then I failed my leadership test to be able to move. I just want to move around that marsh and be able to go up behind him and either just stay safe or be able to contribute in later rounds. Archers pick off the other swarm, and again, in hindsight, I really think the better thing for me to have done is to not have worried about the swarm with my knights. Just let those archers take care of them. But anyway, live and learn. So you can see this unit's down. It's hard to get wounds on him because he's got the mark of Nurgle, and he was within 6 inches of that battle standard bearer. So did a bunch of wounds, but he's stubborn. And the bad news is, on his turn, he's got his Chaos Knight unit that's going to be able to flank me. So that is more than than a little unfortunate. Warriors Chaos turn 4. Yeah, the only good thing that I have going for me is that his Lord is on my far right and is barely in combat. And so if I lose a few knights, he's going to be out of combat, which is better than nothing. You can see at the top left, he took his battle standard bearer out of the woods and is just hanging out close to combat. Now, after combat, we were able to kill some warriors, and so it kind of actually split that combat in two because my Knights of the Realm couldn't move up because they were held in place by the Chaos Knights. So now we have two combats. My men-at-arms are out of fight. My Grail Knights are locked in with his Chaos Warriors. My Knights of the Realm are locked in with his Chaos Knights. And I don't love that he's in my flank, but I'm telling you, I made saves. He only killed 3, and that's a big unit of Chaos Knights. I don't remember if they were frenzied or not, and that could be important, but by and large, I just got really lucky. And the good news is his general is out of combat. The bad news is his knights still get a lot of attacks, and they're strength 5, and it's just going to be tough to survive there. My general is still there. If you see him, he's in the front left of that Knight of the Realm unit. So, yeah, that's a little bit scary. And I think that's just another picture of the board. But what's important, look where his Marauder unit is in relation to my Knights of the Realm. That comes up later. So we go to Brett turn 4. So my Pegasus Knights fail their stupidity test, and so they stumble forward a few inches, but otherwise are useless. Otherwise, you can see, let's get a close-up. My Knights of the Realm charge his Battle Standard Bearer, and that's huge. I need to get him dead so that he loses his Stubborn and his rerolls. My men-at-arms just backed up a little bit. I really didn't know what to do with them. Everybody else is just locked in combat. And this my Knights Errant on the far right are coming around. I'm hoping that his Marauders get distracted and turn around to face me. That's what I'm really, really hoping up there. So at the end of combat, my Chaos Knights were able to kill the rest of those Chaos Warriors, or I killed enough and then ran him down, which means that he lost his level 2 Spellcaster, which was very nice. My Knights Errant failed to kill the Battle Standard Bearer and failed to break him, and so they're locked in there, so that's kind of hurting me. But amazingly, if you look at my Knights of the Realm, my General is in a challenge and took a wound. Now, he's a Paladin, so he only has 2 wounds, and other than that, he didn't kill anybody. Now, I didn't kill any back, but I don't expect to kill any back at strength 3. I expect him at strength 5 and all those attacks to kill some stuff, and he didn't. So he's having horrible luck. I'm making saves. It's just insane. I think it was this combat, he did 3 wounds that I was unable to make the armor saves, and then I rolled 3 6s. So he's just really getting unlucky there. Now, if you remember that Marauder unit was so far away, on Warrior of the Chaos turn 5, that thing rolled a zillion and was able to get in there. I mean, I don't know what he needed. I think he needed like a 10 or 11. It seemed like he was so far away, and he zoomed in there. So now, that's kind of scary because it's wonderful that my guys didn't break last time, because he could have done some serious charging with his Lord's unit. But with this, he's almost certainly going to break me. And then on my turn, I don't know if there's nothing there I want to charge him with, and I don't know if I can get him out of his way. So this was really, really scary. After combat, now his Lord General is out of the fight, which is hugely helpful. My General is staying alive in his combat. He's got 3 Chaos Knights, 4 Chaos Knights that are not in the challenge, and they are unable. They only do 1 wound on me, and the Marauders do none. But nevertheless, with the charge, the rear bonus, the side flank bonus, everything he has going on, he had me by a ton, and I rolled Snake Eyes to stay, which is just huge, huge turning point of the game, because I really thought I was in a lot of trouble there, but Snake Eyes helps. So these guys do a bunch of wounds, and I think 1 wound goes through, and he's sitting with 1 wound remaining. Either way, he's sitting with one wound remaining, and that's big too. I need to get this guy dead. So we'll go to Brett turn 5. Men-at-arms charge the flank of the Marauders, and the Grail Knights, I tested to try to march them. I just wanted to get them the heck out of there. I don't want the Warriors of Chaos to win this battle, reform facing the Chaos Knights, and get a free charge on them. And there's really nothing I can do to hide from it. But they failed their test, even with the reroll, so they couldn't march anyway. So I just reformed him so that if he charges me, at least he's just getting me in the front. The Knights Errant, I made a mistake last time. I said that you didn't kill him on his turn. I did kill his battle standard bearer. So on my turn, the knights errant just marched. I'm really just trying to get away from that fight. I've killed. I think I've got the game won if I can not lose units now to to his his uh, his Chaos Knight unit. So I'm just trying to get my units out of the way, out of harm's way. So that's what they're doing. They're just getting out of there. Pegasus Knights just move again out of harm. This is my upper left. They're just trying to get out of the way so he can't charge me no matter what happens in the middle. And yeah, so that's before combat, and that's after combat. I couldn't believe it. He lost 2 Chaos Knights to Strength 3 attacks, which is just insane. Now after that, it would have pulled his general into the fight, and that was going to be really ugly for me. But because I had the charge in the flank and negated his ranks with my men-at-arms, men-at-arms really saved the day. The Marauders weren't able to do many wounds on him. I had enough combat res. His battle standard bearer was gone, so I broke his general in combat. Turn 6, he'll be able to rally him, but he's not going to hurt me anymore. And so at the end of the fight, I was able to reform, and it looks like this. So we go to Warriors Chaos, turn 6. His general rallies between my men-at-arms and my Knights of the Realm, who, by the way, they are lacking my general. My general got killed in the challenge last turn, but even with that, the only thing I've lost is that one character and my Questing Knights and the Grail Relique, and everything else is still on the board. And he's lost everything except the Chaos Knights with his general. So in the end, it was a huge massacre for the Bretonnians. It really all hinged on that insane courage roll I had. Really turned the tide of the game, amazingly so. So that was it. Hope you enjoyed it.